The captain rolled his eyes the moment he heard her voice, a tired, dismissive gesture he had mastered over years of command. "Order up, don't let it get cold, Captain Hale," she called from behind the counter, waving a ladle like a conductor's baton. To him, she was just a mess hall cook. A chatty, cheerful woman serving eggs and optimism in equal measure. He didn't even remember her name. But in less than 12 hours, Captain Marcus Hale would be staring at her classified file in the briefing room, his face drained of color, his voice stuck somewhere between disbelief and shame, because the woman he dismissed so easily had once carried a call sign feared across continents. It started that morning, like any other, with chatter, metal trays, and the sharp scent of scrambled eggs. The base mess hall buzzed with half-awake soldiers, but Captain Hale walked through with a familiar stiffness, an officer who had seen more deployments than smiles lately. The cook spotted him instantly. She always did. "Captain Hale, you didn't eat yesterday. Don't tell me you're planning to fight on fumes." He exhaled, irritated. "I'm fine, Ms. Her smile flickered. "Arya will do." He nodded without really listening and moved along, leaving her behind the counter, her cheer dimmed just enough for him to notice, if he had cared to. What he didn't see was the way her hand trembled as she ladled soup. Or how she winced when a pot clanged too loudly. Or how she glanced at the bulletin board where the day's mission assignment would soon be posted, and quickly looked away. By noon, the base hummed with tension. An unexpected emergency briefing was called, level red. Hale walked in expecting intel on a distant threat. Instead, he found the room buzzing with officers murmuring about a civilian asset request. "Asset," Hale muttered. "We don't use civilians in ops." "Apparently," said the intel chief, sliding a folder onto the table, "we are today." When Hale casually flipped it open, everything inside him froze. Classified dossier, Arya Eldridge. Former Special Operations Recon. Call sign, Nightfall. Status, honorably retired. PTSD risk. Currently assigned, mess hall cook. It felt like someone had shut off the oxygen in the room. Nightfall was a legend. A ghost. A shadow soldiers whispered about during the darkest missions. A recon specialist who had saved an entire unit by infiltrating enemy lines alone. A sniper who once held a ridge against overwhelming odds just long enough for air rescue to arrive. And she had been ladling soup into his tray that morning. The intel chief continued, "She's the only operative alive who knows the terrain of the target zone. Satellite feeds are jammed. We need her guidance, at minimum." Hale swallowed hard. "She's retired. And she's working in the mess hall. Are we even sure, Captain?" The chief interrupted firmly, "She's our best chance of bringing your missing team home." The weight of it hit him. This wasn't about pride, or hierarchy. Lives depended on a woman he had treated like an afterthought. "Where is she now?" Hale asked. He found Arya sitting outside behind the mess hall, rubbing her hands together as if trying to warm a part of herself long frozen. She looked up when he approached, surprised to see him. "Captain Hale, you're outside the mess hall. That's a first." He forced a breath. "We need to talk." She studied him, eyes narrowing. "Is this about the briefing I was asked to attend?" "It is," he said softly. "Arya, we need your help." Her jaw tensed. "I'm not Nightfall anymore, but you're the only one who knows the valley routes. They ambushed our recon team. 6 soldiers trapped, maybe dead, satellite blackout. We need someone who's been there." She looked away. "That place, it took everything from me. I swore I'd never go back. And I'm asking you to consider, just consider, going back to save them." Silence stretched. Her lips trembled. Her eyes glistened. "They called me a hero," she whispered. "But they didn't see what I had to do to become one." Hale knelt beside her, not as a captain, but as a person who finally saw the weight she carried. "You didn't deserve to be dismissed," he said. "Least of all by me. I was wrong, and I'm sorry." For the first time, her expression softened. "Let me brief you," she said quietly. "If I can't go, I can at least make sure you come back alive." But halfway through the mission briefing, as she pointed to choke points and escape routes, Arya's hand paused on the map. Her breathing hitched. Hale noticed immediately. "You okay?" She nodded, though her voice trembled. "They're moving fast, too fast. Captain, your men have maybe 6 hours." Without another word, she straightened. "I'm going with you." Hale blinked. "Are you sure?" Her smile was faint but resolute. "I'm Nightfall. I led from the shadows. And today, I refuse to lose another team." The insertion was rough. The mountains cold and merciless. But Arya moved through the terrain with a quiet familiarity that stunned the soldiers. Every warning she gave was accurate. Every path she chose saved them minutes. At the ridge overlooking the enemy camp, Hale's breath caught. There, bound, beaten, barely conscious, were his trapped soldiers. Arya steadied her rifle, but her hands trembled. Hale placed his hand gently over hers. "You don't have to fire." Her eyes hardened with resolve. "I do, not to fight my past, but to save your future." The first shot cracked through the night. Clean, controlled, the kind only a master could deliver. Within seconds, panic erupted below. "Move," Hale shouted. The extraction was chaos, gunfire, smoke, shouting, but Arya was everywhere. Covering angles, redirecting troops, dragging wounded soldiers herself. When the last soldier was aboard the evac chopper, Hale grabbed her arm. "That's everyone. We're done." She looked at the valley one last time, its shadows no longer monsters, but memories finally put to rest, and nodded. Back on base, as the rescued soldiers limped out of the chopper, the entire command staff stood waiting. Not for Hale, for her. Arya stepped down slowly, exhaustion etched into her posture. But when the soldiers she'd saved saw her, they straightened, every one of them, and saluted with unwavering respect. Captain Hale joined them, saluting highest. "You brought them home," he said softly. She met his eyes. "No, Captain, we did." For the first time since she stepped off the battlefield years ago, Arya allowed herself to breathe, not as a cook hiding her past, but as Nightfall, the hero she once was, and could be again.